The following is a presentation of the Black Hollywood Live Network, the first online broadcast network dedicated to African American entertainment. Hollywood redefined. From Los Angeles, California, streaming live thanks to Akamai Technologies, this is Black Hollywood Live, Geek.Nerd.Tech, featuring a weekly roundup of tech news and gossip. Black Hollywood Live, Hollywood redefined.
You're listening to Black Hollywood Live.
And now, the host of Black Hollywood Live, Geek.Nerd.Tech.
Yes. 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 Welcome to Geek.Nerd.Tech, the show we break down nerd culture and tech news from a black and brown geek perspective.
Yeah.
My name's Joe Braswell. I'm joined by Mr. Achilles Shine.
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 Yeah, man.
How are you?
I'm shining.
Shining?
You know what I'm saying? Just hanging on, man. I'm hanging on.
Hey, hanging out. You're gonna make it.
Running on fumes, man.
There's light at the end of the tunnel.
Yes. It's been a long tunnel.
Yeah, it's a long tunnel. There's light way down there.
How you doing?
I'm good. Same.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm feeling good. Feeling enthused. We have some cool tech stories to talk about and some pop culture stuff. But you have not seen any movies, though, right? You're still behind. What'd you see?
I've seen Jurassic.
Okay.
What else do we have?
That's it.
That's it. That's all
That's
I've really
right.
seen.
Okay.
I mean, that's,
Like I say, you've seen the movies.
notable. You know?
Okay. All right. Well, let's jump into this. I want to talk about Uber, the $40 billion company,
Yeah.
giant of Uber that is taking over the world and growing, and still like no real cap on its growth. The two main areas that Uber's been having a problem with are Las Vegas and New York City.
Yeah.
For obvious reasons, because those two cities, I mean, well, especially Las Vegas, the entire ecosystem is based on cabs. Like,
Right.
you know, hotels depend on cabs, cabs depend on hotels, taxi stand. You know, the idea of like, you can't like call an Uber from a hotel, have an Uber come out. It's not built for that.
Right.
So they had trouble in Vegas trying to figure that out. New York, same thing. The whole ecosystem in New York is sort of built on cabs, and so they were kind of trying to fight Uber. And not, in addition to the fact that there's a very strong unions in the
Long history.
long history. So the idea of Uber, these Silicon Valley guys coming into the Big Apple and taking all these guys' jobs is troublesome.
Troublesome.
But Mayor de Blasio. Oh wait, no, I'm sorry, not de Blasio. It's the Governor de Blasio. Sorry, no, Mayor de Blasio, Bill de Blasio, said that he's gonna do a 4-month study to make sure to see how Ubers impact cars in the environment.
Yeah.
They've said before, look, we'll let you in, but unlimited. We're gonna limit what you can do here.
Right.
And it was kind of under the fog of, you know, he's getting pressure from the taxi cabs union.
Yeah, I think this. I mean, well, I'll tell you my thoughts
Well,
on it.
let me just say, like, there are 13,000 cabs in New York City currently.
Right.
There are 25,000 Uber cars that they want to dispatch. So
Right.
So the argument is it's going to add to congestion.
Yeah.
It's going to be horrible for the city that's already congested. I think it's a lot of bullish. I think it's just the unions trying to push Uber out. What do you think?
Of course, I think it's about old infrastructure versus new infrastructure, and we talk about traffic. That's a New York problem, regardless.
Right.
So the congestion is a part of any urban landscape, and I think actually the study will prove that Uber probably makes it better for traffic, versus the traditional taxi cab. And what they're arguing is that they'll never have more than 2,000 Ubers, I guess, in transit during like the rush hour times of traffic. So suggesting that it's not really contributing to the congestion is actually making it easier, but it's also adding jobs, adding economic opportunities for those that may not have been able to go the taxi route. So I mean, I love Uber. I love the concept. I think it's an awesome company. Wherever I travel, I use it. I've used it in New York. I didn't use a taxi cab in New York. I used Uber straight from the airport. Like, I think it's going to win the long war. So I mean, you don't think so?
I do think I guess I do think it will win the long war. I do use Uber. It's interesting in New York. I use Uber in New York. They give you the option because they made a deal with New York City cabs. So you give the option of cab or Uber.
Right.
But I don't know. I just feel like for me, like the idea of like waiting on that Uber sometimes in New York, as opposed to just going to the corner and flagging down a cab and keeping it moving.
It was quick for me.
Okay, because we did use it once. I used it twice, and it was okay.
Yeah.
But
The only I will say, that I ordered an Uber in the Bronx, and the dude hit me up, was like, "Yo, who is this? Like, where are you going?" I told him I was going somewhere else in the Bronx. He was like, "I can't drive you there."
Yeah.
So that was one thing that's never happened before.
So you got some dude from the boogie down was
I'm
like,
not going to that part.
Nah, hell no, I ain't going there. Yeah, that's funny because that's very much like the cab driver situation. You get in the cab, they're like, "Where you going?"
Right.
You going uptown? I'm not going uptown.
Right.
You know, it's like,
And you know, it's hard. It's still hard for a brother to catch a cab though in New York.
I know.
Let Chris Rock tell it.
Well, in what's that movie called?
Top 5.
Top 5.
Yeah.
Yes, but we see what happened to him. All right, so moving on. We'll see. I'm interested to see how this plays out. Uber's unstoppable. To answer your question, Uber's ubiquitous, not going anywhere.
Nowhere.
Let's move on to this video posted on Wire that's been making a lot of news. These hackers figured out a way to sort of hack into some GM cars, specifically the Jeep Cherokee, and hack into it and remotely take it over.
Yeah.
In every way. They could start it, they could change the radio, they could do all kind of stuff, everything.
Everything from the windshield wipers to the brakes, to
Right.
even the seatbelt, the music that you're listening to.
That is on some crazy like Mission Impossible ish right there.
It's a weapon. It's definitely can become weaponized. And I think
to drive you into a ditch.
Yeah. Or to shut down transportation. Period. Like, hey, create create traffic. You know what I'm saying, or whatever. I think with like the cyber terrorism advocacy, I feel like these black hats that were able to do this, I think it's great that they're able to flush out these bugs and holes with the software, because I mean there might be some form of terrorist group or some crazy person that actually wants to use it as a weapon. So for them to put it on people's radar, even if it means losing money for these car companies, I'm with that. You know what I'm saying? Because that's crazy. You're whipping and all of a sudden you go 100 miles per hour, you can't control it.
Yeah, that's crazy.
Nah.
No, thank you. Because it may be whether they're targeting you or it could be people just goofing around.
Yeah.
You know, hey, let's hear this car. Keely Sean, who's he? Who cares? You know?
Slam on the brakes.
I mean, but yeah, 40, almost 500,000 hackable automobiles. 400,771.
That's a lot of potential things that could happen that can go wrong.
Very, very scary. Very,
Super
very
scary.
I want to move on to a site, the Ashley Madison, which I don't know if you're familiar with, Keely, but Ashley Madison is a site that is used by some people to hook up with other married people who are in relationships.
Yeah.
So the idea is you're in a relationship, the girl or the male's in a relationship. You're looking for people exclusively in these relationships for some sex.
Yeah. It's like Tinder, like your favorite site.
Right. This is very specific in their clientele. Now, Ashley Madison is a big, believe it or not, and the whole thing is like the whole tagline is "Life is short, have an affair."
Right.
Like it's very specifically like look,
no, it's blatantly specific.
yeah, like we want if you want to have an affair,
this
come
is the
to
place
us.
to be. Exactly.
So that's all great. It's done great. I mean, for them, they've done a lot of revenue, but
Absolutely.
they were hacked.
Yeah.
And which is your worst nightmare if you're cheating on your wife or girlfriend.
And the way you get caught is because some black hat was able to infiltrate their system.
Ashley Madison hack is terrible.
Yeah.
So yeah, I mean, this sort of speaks in cybersecurity. It really is an interesting thing about just sort of like. Just in terms of like, and in terms of what they found, whose information they found, the whole article is in Rolling Stones about what it means for cybersecurity in general. I never thought of Ashley Madison as being the most secure site in the world. It almost is like be here at your own risk. If you're willing to be on that site, and this is why I can never be on those sites. I can never do that in general. Because if let's just say I'm on there, first of all, anyway, if I'm on there, and how do you know like somebody else is going to see you? Like,
you don't know.
Like,
I mean, in fact, you do know.
This is your Uncle Charlie. What you doing to Ashley Madison?
You do know that someone's going to see you, and that's
Exactly.
the point. Like we are in a digital world. Everything is zeros and ones. Everything is information based, and like we all have some type of commitment to our devices, and we are constantly, hourly ingesting information into those devices. Even if it's, we talked about this before with the Spotify thing, where the kidnapper was using Spotify and they're able to find them because of their information trail. So I feel like no, there's no company is secure. There will always be some person that will be able to break down whatever infrastructure you build to prevent people from coming in. And so you're putting information out there that's either criminal or morally wrong, like immoral. Like, hey, you have to think of that, because it's more probable than not that someone is looking at it, selling it, marketing it, something.
Right.
So yeah, that's my take.
All right. Well, I agree. It's a scary world we live in. That's all I gotta say. It makes me want to minimize, what. But it's unavoidable. I feel like, for me, it just feels like at a certain point, we're giving away so much trust to corporations and in terms of service and all these other things, and we have no idea. No idea. Like, if everything from Apple Pay to my fingerprint on here to
you have no idea where that's going.
No idea. So I don't know.
No matter what. Whoever says, "Hey, it's secure," that's shit
now I can't even
secure.
get my freak together on Ashley Madison.
Man,
there's nothing sacred.
You better take it to the boulevard.
There's nothing sacred. Okay, moving on. Stephen Hawking,
That's my boy.
Yeah, man, the Hawk.
Have you seen The Theory of Everything?
I have seen The Theory of Everything. I think it's a very beautiful movie and a wonderful performance by my man. What's his name?
Yeah, precisely.
Eddie Redmayne. But but Hawking, who's still kicking, is teaming up with this Russian billionaire to put $100 million in to search for aliens.
Yeah.
Now,
that's awesome.
It sounds ridiculous, but it's kind of cool.
I don't think it sounds ridiculous.
Well, it just sounds like I'm a millionaire. I'm a billionaire. I'm gonna throw $100 million to find alien. This is how this stuff happens, right?
I mean, I feel like humanity has always had, a thirst for adventure and discovery and pioneering the new, whatever the new frontier is. And so I feel like, hey, if you got the capital to be able to look into space and to look into space for life, because and also it's kind of like a mindset, because a lot of people might think that human life form is like the highest form of intellectual life there is, versus the theory that there's other life forms out there, and to be able to search through them in hundreds of different galaxies or hundreds of different planets, hundreds of millions of different stars and planets. I think it's awesome to be able to say, hey, this planet has a great potential for life, and then to be able to track, if it's radio frequencies or whatever. Right. Some form of communication, because that'll change how we view humanity on this planet. You know what I'm saying?
What's interesting that it reminds me. I don't know if do you remember? I think it's the 1998, 99. I think it was then. Maybe it was later. The Contact, the Bob Zemeckis movie with Matthew McConaughey and Jodie Foster. The irony there is that the whole movie is about sort of reaching out and making contact and spending money. And in that movie, once she's actually, her project is messed up, she's refunded by a Stephen Hawking type character. This guy, I forget his name, but the character was basically supposed to be Stephen Hawking. He's an eccentric billionaire. He was a super genius. He was flying in a plane, and that never landed because he liked to be in the air the whole time. So it's kind of funny. This is sort of art imitating life, and that the real Stephen Hawking is actually searching for life. So I think it's kind of cool.
I think in the course of our humanity, we've always asked the question: Are we alone in the universe? And so I think it's every kid's wish to be able to figure that out. Right. And so a person that has long pockets, you're able to use these high-powered telescopes to be able to figure that out. I think it's awesome.
Right. I want to talk about Black Twitter.
Talk about it, tweet.
Black Twitter. I mean, it's this is something that's been written about every now and then. The notion of Black Twitter, talking about basically the amount of basically the social media power that we have as Black folks, and I'm going to talk about this first. The article that was before talking about the power of Black Twitter, talking about how basically how when an event occurs, the activity that how we talk about an activity we use around that event far exceeds the event itself. and more so than, I don't want to say white Twitter or whatever else, but more so than anything else. I guess it's really the power of black folks on social media.
Well, I think it's the power of black folks, period. Like we are innovators and culturalists. Like you look at music, look at any forms of entertainment. We're at the forefront of being inventive. And I think black Americans, African Americans have a unique positioning in the world because of our history in this country with slavery and forced to be inventive for survival. Right. So having that energy, hey, I'm going to create something, I'm going to make something so that I can survive, and I'm going to put my style into it, my soul into it, and make it cool, and then that being co-opted and bought and then being mainstream, that's something that's always happened. So with Black Twitter, if someone says something, creates a hashtag or says something that's real slick and it then becomes mainstream or popularized, that doesn't surprise me. But I think it's cool that when you look at it historically, but we've always had to fight to have a voice in the media, and I think with technology now, because of social media, we have more of a voice because there's no limitations to it other than whether or not people see it or not, you know. Right. And so I think with Black Twitter, quote unquote, we're able to express ourselves and have a diverse cadre of points of view. And people receive it outside of the black community.
I mean, just think of some of the hashtags like lately that well, first of all, this came out of the notion that the LA Times has hired a reporter to cover Black Twitter exclusively, right? Which is kind of interesting, kind of cool. But like, I mean, amongst some of our most powerful social change and non-social change hashtags have come out of have come from us, including obviously Black Lives Matter, hashtag I can't breathe, if they gun me down.
Hands up, don't shoot.
LeBroning, tweet like Jaden Smith, but that's none of my business. I mean, these are stuff that like really had a huge impact culturally.
Of course.
That came out of, you know, the black folks. So it's interesting what you say, like how we've had a history sort of being out in front culturally, and that's still the case even in a world where we're not often, as we talked about in this show, we're not often invited to participate in terms of the tech world.
I mean, yeah. I mean, I think it's crazy to think that, you know, 200 plus years ago, it was illegal for black people to read and write. You know what I'm saying? Black codes prevented us to even have access to books, and so we had to do that in secret. And then you know, fast forwarding to then us free blacks who had enough common sense and economic power to have our own newspapers, and have those newspapers, you know, hit with terrorism, have those newspapers burnt, or the news houses burnt down. And so now fast forward to now, like we have Twitter where we're able to express ourselves so freely. I think that's amazing. And to be able to use this system more effectively, I think that's the future. Like how can we talk about issues in the black community with these tools and really have some resonant value beyond like traditional media like a newspaper or news or whatever.
Cool.
That's those are my takes.
Those are great takes, and I got nothing else. But that I want to move on to your favorite movie of the summer. Jurassic World has become the #3 movie of all time.
I honestly don't see how that's possible. I honestly don't see it.
Time. It's crazy.
I don't get it. Help me understand it.
Well, I mean, are you saying you don't get it because the movie was just okay? Or
Precisely.
Oh yeah, it has nothing to do with the quality of the movie. It just has to do with the power of that franchise.
But dog, like all time, the two that are above that are good movies.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know, man. It's just the part of that franchise, and it's so weird because that franchise was dead in the water after 3, and we're talking years ago, and this reboot comes out. Wow. It's just the power of the franchise, the power of dinosaurs. They've already greenlit Jurassic Park, you know, the Jurassic World 2, because this is a whole new franchise. It's not Jurassic Park. It's not Jurassic Park 5. It's Jurassic World 2. Right. So they've already greenlit Jurassic World 2. I mean, and why they have to.
You know what? Seeing that release date already for Jurassic World 2?
Yes.
It's what, November? No, it's July.
2018, I believe, or 2017.
2018.
Yeah.
It just makes me so worried because this script was not even very good.
Precisely.
So they're already giving themselves a timeline that they have to be like, go with the first or second script. And they're like, all right, we're good. Let's start filming.
Well, this is an increasing problem with in the big studio, big tentpole box office world, is that real estate is very valuable. So you have to, like, the sooner you can plant that tent pole flag, if you will, to use the turnip phrase, if you can plant that tent pole and get that date, then that means it kind of becomes radioactive for other dates. You saw this happen this year when,
Star Wars
was announced and they got pushed, and people don't want to have release dates around other movies. So the studios now are like, they announce a release date and like, okay, guys, go make it happen.
Exactly.
And it's just kind of a weird sort of studio move, and it doesn't do much for creativity. Sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't. I mean, this happened most notably with Fast 6 or Fast 7. What are we on right now?
Well, 7 just came out.
Okay, so this happened with Fast 7.
Yeah.
So after Fast 6 dropped, Universal was like, cool, we have another one in 2 years, 18 months, a new one. And like Justin was like, what? I can't do that. I got to do True Detective. I'm doing some other stuff. He's like, well, sorry, we'll find someone else.
Damn.
And The Rock was like, I can't do it. He's like, oh, we'll figure it out. And then so they made it happen, but and The Rock was only in it for a couple minutes. But it's just, this is kind of the problems you have.
Hey,
anyway.
I'm amazed by that stat, though. I can't fathom how, I mean, just like you said, off the narrative, the script writing, the storytelling, I just felt it was like, whatever. It wasn't like such an amazing film to reach to the third of all time list.
I mean, and 1.5 billion. I mean, it's still not even close.
It's still climbing.
It's still it's not even close to Titanic's 2.18 billion, or Avatar's 2.7 billion.
Right.
So, but whatever, James Cameron still holding it down at 1 and 2. He's not worried. Man. Whatever James Cameron's next movie is, I'm sure will be number 1, 2, or 3.
That's a hell of a thing to say. Yeah, I hold the record for the
I got like
top 2.
5 Bs
off of 2 films.
Off of two films. I'm gonna go build submarines. See you later. All right. Next. Oh, this I don't understand. So Sony wins the bidding war for the first movie about emoji. Now, I guess this one's kind of a head scratcher to me, but until you start thinking about what Lego Movie did and how few and far between these recognizable properties and icons are, I don't know if this is going to be just a movie based on what you see in this emoji world, bringing these things to life.
Right.
I have no idea, but Hey,
I think it's cool. I mean, they're about to they're about to drop Pixels, or is Pixels already out? No.
Yeah, it's out.
Yeah, all right, so Pixels is out. I mean, it's kind of along those same lines, like you said, using iconic things or things that we all participate in somehow. Yeah. And bringing it to life. Like, I think it'll be super fun.
Right.
It'll be super comical.
Well, this is weird. I don't watch Arrow, so I need my boy Eric in here on this one. But Arrow just cast Jimmy Akinbola as a Nazi supervillain. And Jimmy Akinbola
I can't stand you, dog. Like how you be running these names.
What?
I mean, go ahead. You doing it.
Akinbola. Akinbola.
Do it.
The thing about my man Jimmy is not a Nazi-looking guy.
Not at all.
Not a Nazi.
Never met a black Nazi before.
Lots been said about sort of like diversity casting. So I got it, but. I mean, Baron Blitzkrieg and Baron Blitzkrieg. This I'm not quite understanding, but I don't know. I really don't know enough about the Arrow universe, even as a DC guy, and certainly not enough about the TV show to understand. But
Hey man,
yeah, man.
Have you seen the Key and Peele sketch of them when they're black Nazis? Have you seen that one?
Yes,
okay.
Yes.
So I guess it's possible.
I mean, if they're gonna, Blitzkrieg, Baron Blitzkrieg. Anyway,
wow.
Something more exciting for me is the new James Bond trailer came out for Spectre. Have you peeped it?
I have not seen it. No.
Man, 2 words: Roger Deakins. Roger Deakins, cinematographer who killed the game on Skyfall, is every shot I see in this trailer, I'm like, Deakins.
He's killing it.
Deakins. Like he alone makes you. He's like the star of this movie for me.
Wow.
He was the star of Skyfall, because there's this beautiful, ridiculous images in Skyfall.
For sure.
And I mean, just so many over and over again. Skyfall is one of those movies you can watch on mute and put some music on and just watch those images.
Wow, the cinematography is insane. Off the Richters.
I'm already in the trailer. I'm like, whatever these setups are, because they're giving you diversity in setups, right?
Of course.
So like, what is that setup? Where are they there?
Right.
What's going on there? Like he's just killing the game. But I'm very excited. We see Spectre, the old Spectre from the old James Bond, stuff's coming back. Moneypenny's back, Bond is back, Ralph Fiennes is back as M. So we're kind of got into this new thing. Naomi Harris is back as Moneypenny.
Yeah.
So they got that kid Ben Whishaw as Q, which I kind of like too. So
Right.
we'll see. I'm really excited about it. Got to peep the trailer.
It's a thumbs up. Without peeping the trailer.
You're giving a thumbs up already?
Yeah.
Well, this is one of the things that came out of the Sony hack too. That this was troubled.
Really?
Yeah. There's rumors that it wasn't that good, and they're having trouble with the script, and trouble with this, and trouble with that. But again, I don't see how that's possible.
I don't either.
Because I don't know, but what do I know? Where else? Where are we? Oh, I'm way down
Pixels.
here. Pixels came out. And people say that it was the best Adam Sandler movie in years, which of course is not saying much because the reviews are quite bad.
Yeah.
I don't know. I'm out.
Man, that surprises me because months ago we were both in. Like when we watched the trailer, that shit was funny.
Yeah, I mean it's got 18% on Rotten Tomatoes. I mean, like I just read this blurb from Rotten Tomatoes, which is really unkind. The blurb on Rotten Tomatoes, when you do a rollover on Pixels, it's 18%, and it says, wrong movie. It says, come on. There it is. Much like the worst arcade games from the era that inspired it, Pixels has little replay value and is hardly worth a quarter. Oof. What?
That's shots fired.
Shots fired at Pixels. So yeah, 18%, and even the audience didn't really like it. Only 50% of the like. So I got numbers to say. I was kind of excited about it. Now I don't know if I'll see it.
Yeah,
that's what I got on that. Moving on. Xbox One. We talk about Xbox One all the time. We both have Xbox One.
Sure do.
The hot thing that's coming is the keyboard and the mouse, which hopefully will change the game. Now one thing I do is I use my iPad and my whatever this thing is, my app, and I can type from there. Same thing on Apple. I can do it on Apple TV.
Right.
You can actually type in your stuff, your searches, which is a lot better. But it would be great to have a keyboard. But my thing is, I don't want a dedicated keyboard. I want something that's integrated. I don't know.
I think having another piece of hardware to.
Where are you gonna put that?
Exactly.
I got 15 remotes.
Hey, hold on. Let me get the keyboard out.
Yeah, clunk.
No. I don't see that as a good look.
Yeah.
I'm trying to figure out like how Xbox, being such an innovative company, is thinking that this is a good
Well, there's so
idea.
many ways for you to control Xbox One. You can control it through, a minority report style. You can do voice. You can do all this other way. Like you can do your controller.
Right.
So you can already control everything through multiple sources. So, but some people really, want the mouse. They want the keyboard.
Okay.
So anyway, I'm with you. I will not be using the mouse or the keyboard, but it's cool, And then last but not least, where am I? Star Wars?
Star Wars. Indeed, it is.
Yes. Last but not least, I can't even get the story going on. I don't know what just happened to my whole thing. Anyway, the Star Wars has some major the KOTOR
Yeah.
2.
Two.
What? I don't even know what that is.
I got that in the whip.
Do you? I don't know what it is. My internet just took a dump, so I have no idea what it is.
Well, I'm not too heavy in the video game world, but so yeah, I can't really help you out on that one today, brother.
Okay, well, I did play Battlefront at E3.
Yeah.
And Battlefront
It was looking sick.
is beyond.
Yeah.
Beyond. Like the combination of the sound effects and the visuals, and it looks clean as heck, and the environments and what you can do in that film with the X-wings and everything else is probably, it fully realizes the dream of what we wanted Star Wars movies to be. So
Right.
I'm very happy about that.
You also got a lightsaber on your ass too.
I did get a lightsaber at E3. Yeah, we had a lightsaber battle. You can check that out at is that checkoutable yet?
Not yet.
Okay,
It's
well.
only check-outable on Instagram.
On Instagram, okay. Checkoutable. word us intellectuals use.
Exactly. Step your game up.
Yes. I think that's it. I got nothing else.
Man, I mean, I'll run you one. Did you hear about the? It's kind of what we were talking about earlier about Black Twitter, social media. But did you hear about Instagram taking down? Oh my God, now I'm drawing a blank. Taking down some of those posts for. Oh my goodness, for like a lot of the Sandy posts. Instagram was taking them down. Like you would search for her name, and there would be no post. It would show that it would show a number of people that have posted it, but it would show no pictures.
Why?
Precisely.
That's weird. I didn't know that.
Okay.
Huh.
Well, yeah, I was just seeing what your take was on that, but maybe we could cover that next week.
Knights of the Old Republic is what Coder is what that's for.
Okay.
Knights of the Old Republic 1, which I like. That's a little Republic 2 is coming. That's what I'm talking about.
Got you.
We talk about that more next week. I would like to believe that Instagram is one of the good ones.
Well,
They are owned by
Facebook. Exactly.
Right. So I don't know. All right.
Hey, well, there it is.
I'm surprised y'all ain't talking about the new planet they found.
Planet.
Kepler 452b.
Yeah, that's my homies is from that planet.
Yeah,
From the block, and we're at Kepler. I didn't know this story. Lemmy, what tell you? Can you enlighten?
I don't know how
us?
you can be on the internet and not know about this story.
Yes.
NASA found a new Kepler planet, which is basically these planets that are within the habitable zone of their sun, as well as their atmosphere is made up of components. And
it's very
the planet.
Earth-like.
Yeah, so they found one that's literally 1.5 times the size of Earth.
Yep.
And its year is only 10 days longer than Earth's.
Right.
And it's right inside the habitable zone, and it's 6 billion years old, just like we're about 4.5, or right?
Exactly. It's very similar.
Yeah, so it's only
it's right
1,400
here.
light years away.
And that's the thing with that technology is that they look for planets in that zone because of the temperature of the starlight, the sunlight. Because if it's closer in a different zone, there's obviously no potential for water, and if it's too far, there's no potential for water. So it's like right in the zone where water actually can coexist with, and then obviously life could coexist. So that's the whole point. And they found one.
I see pictures from Kepler 452b. What the hell is wrong with me? I didn't know. Thanks, Stephen Lemieux.
And then the fact that Pluto has tectonic activity,
Right.
Yes,
which is insane.
that is insane. Wow, Stephen Lemieux coming with the astrological,
Astronomical.
Astronomical knowledge.
I'm a Gemini, so I talk about planets.
Thank you. Astrological. I can't say anything. I know nothing.
Astrological.
All right, thank you. Mercifully, Lemieux brings in the music. Wow. Geek.Nerd.Tech. Keely, where can the kids find you?
Yeah, they can find me on Instagram and Twitter at AkiliShine, AKILISHINE. And where can the folks find ya?
You can find me on Instagram, Twitter, and Periscope at Joe K. Braswell. It's at Joe K. Braswell. If Instagram doesn't shut me down, we'll have some news stories for you next week. Thanks for joining Geek.Nerd.Tech. We'll see you soon. Bye.
From producers Dario Kristen, Tiana Hobson, Kevin Undergaro, and the entire BHL crew, we would like to thank you for supporting Black Hollywood Live, the first online broadcast network dedicated to African American entertainment. For questions and comments, contact us at info@blackhollywoodlive.com. Like us on Facebook, tweet us, or Instagram us at BHL Online. And I'm your BHL announcer, Scipio. Instagram me at Planet Scipio. Thank you for tuning in.
Hollywood Redefined.
The views expressed here are those of the host only and do not necessarily reflect the views of BHL or its owners or principals.